Before we start, that we do have microphones, so if you're not speaking, please try to remember to mute yourself. Okay.
What she say today?
She said, remember if you're speaking, then just. Good afternoon. Afternoon. I'd like to call to order the regular quarterly meeting of the Penn West Council of Trustees. And before we begin, I'd like to have Pat Kennedy lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I also would like to mention that we have a guest with us today. Rachel Kisser is our new student trustee. She has not been approved by the Board of Governors. That will happen next week and beginning in May, when our current student trustee from the Clarion campus, Katie Robinson, she will graduate and move on. And then Rachel will be with us beginning at the July meeting. So Rachel, would you like to stand up? Welcome. Thank you. I also have something I have to read about the Pennsylvania wiretap law. So the proceedings of the Pennsylvania Western University Council of Trustees are recorded. Therefore, public disclosure to those in attendance via verbal announcement and written public notice avoids any violation of the Pennsylvania Wiretapping Act. We've had an active quarter. Our last meeting was in January. Good idea, Anna. Thank you. Anna will take the roll call.
Trustee Bonini.
Present.
Trustee Dunbar. Present. Trustee Jones.
Present.
Trustee Kennedy. Present. Trustee Logue. Present. Trustee Maggi.
Here, ma'am.
Trustee Nikolai.
Present.
Trustee Oberlander. Here. Trustee Pape.
Here.
Trustee Pickett.
Present.
Trustee Robinson. Trustee Cedar. See you on Zoom, Sarah.
Present.
Trustee Weaver.
Here.
Trustee Yost.
Here.
We have a
Thank
quorum.
you. Thank you. As I said a minute ago, we've had a long road since January. A lot has occurred. As a council of trustees, we primarily focused on governance internally. We have established committees, and those committees are forming, looking at their mission and vision and goals, and that will be an ongoing process. We've also had set up more formal lines of communication, just discussions on certain topics and also discussions with the president during the month. So we keep the communications flowing. And externally, each of the members of the council of trustees has an area of interest, really a focus area relative to enrollment. And we have partnered with a member of the staff at Penn West, still forming that up. So we're not there yet. But the goal is to ultimately new streams of revenue, increase enrollment in its variety of forms. Well, it's not necessarily enrollment of four-year students. It could be certification programs. Mark has been working on veterans. And just last week, I had a conversation with somebody from the state system about the exciting topic of water and wastewater treatment plant certification programs. Doesn't seem important, but there's really a lack in the Commonwealth. And so we're pursuing and looking at and doing a business plan to determine if there's a need. but each of the trustees has an area and we're moving forward on that. So it's a busy time. It will continue to be a busy time. But we're working together on it. And we did have a nice outreach with public officials this morning, good breakfast, to start ongoing discussions with members of the public and the community, and to talk about how we can work together. We'd like to take comments now from the public. Is there any member of the public here who would like to make a public? And I guess you have to be pre-registered, and Anna knows who has been pre-registered. No, so the record should reflect that then. We do have item number 6 on our agenda is remarks by APSCUF, and joining us this afternoon are representatives from APSCUF at Penn West, from each of the Penn West campuses. Dr. Marielle Bernardsky, virtually, so on the screen there, for Penn West, California. Dr. Overly and Dr. Claster had conflicts and could not be with us today. We are pleased that Dr. Barry Sweet, who's in person, and Dr. Lee Williams, who's virtual, could attend and share comments on behalf of Dr. Overly and Dr. Claster for Penn West Clarion and Penn West Edinburgh.
Can I go first?
Dr.
Yeah.
Barry Sweet would like to take.
Hello. Wow, it's a mic. That's a live mic. I'm Dr. Barry Sweet. I'm here just to speak briefly on behalf of Dr. Joyce Overly because she could not be here. And some of you know me. I look around here because I've been coming to COT meetings for I think at least 20 years now, and occasionally come up to the microphone to speak briefly. But as I was thinking about this, the only constant in life they say is change, and man, we've seen a lot of change in the last few years here. But I was looking, back at all 3 of these institutions that became Penn West. They all started back like 1850s, 1860s, and they've gone through a lot of change over all that time. But when you're in the midst of it, it really seems like it's kind of crazy. We've had a pretty hectic time these last 3 years, starting with the pandemic and then the merger. And I think just when we thought things were settling down a little bit, we just found out this semester we're getting another reorganization. So hopefully eventually things will settle down. We're going now from 6 colleges to 3. We're going from 26 departments to 14. Some of these departments will have 60 plus members across 3 campuses. We're in the process right now of electing chairs. I know my department right now, the election ends today. Other departments are electing chairs. Also, we have been able to work with the administration to help with these new larger departments. Each of the departments will have at least 2 assistant chairs, and then the idea is that each of the campuses will have representation in terms of chairs or assistant chairs in every department. Also, we're going to try to assure that all disciplines will have some representation in this new structure with chairs and assistant chairs. Also, departments that are particularly big are going to have an additional chair release to help with that. So we are happy about that. Also, there's going to be some additional summer contracts for chairs and assistant chairs to help them get policies and procedures and bylaws put together. So hopefully when we get back in the fall, which will be here before you know it, this semester's just about over. But so hopefully when we get back in the fall, we will be able to hit the ground running. So, but you always wanted me just to say, APSCUF is appreciative that the administration, recognize the need for this additional sort of assistant chairs and other sort of support that would be needed to get this difficult reorganization in place. And hopefully next year things will be a lot smoother. So that's all I have to say. I'll turn it over to either Lee or Mary at this point.
I think Marielle will be next.
Dear Council of Trustees and President Bernardsky, I would like to address you with concerns about the change. We are all ready for this change, and change has been ongoing for quite a while. But just to put this from a perspective of a faculty member, I have had 5 different presidents in last 12 years. I've been in 4 different departments in last 3 years. And I have had 3 provosts in just last 1 year. And we have communicated that with the administration, and I think the administration understands that now maybe things need to settle. We need to build something new, we need to build something together, and we need to know where we can find a solid ground to stand on. So during this change in the last reorganization, I really have to emphasize that we're thankful for the shared governance approach to this reorganization. This has been really hard on us. I've been in my previous department for a year, for example, with 17 members. 2/3 of those members I have never met in person. Now I'm going to be in a department with 60 members, which most likely 2/3 or 40 people are just going to be like little thumbnails on a screen, like you can see me right now. Additionally, we still have problems with student registration. It's really, really hard to see when this consolidation has been done, and in my opinion, rushed, that students are suffering. There are still registration problems, and my colleagues are issuing manual permits daily for students to be able to register, and this is still a concern of us. While we're willing to work hard, I also would like to remind this body that faculty working conditions are also our students' learning conditions, and we need to improve both of those. With that, I will yield to the next representative of APSCF, Dr. Williams.
Dr. Williams?
Thank you. Hi, all. Lee Williams here for Sam Claster. And I'd like to talk just briefly today to amplify, excuse me. I'd like to talk briefly today about turning corners. Lots of folks have talked about lots of structures at the university, and the floors that we may need to approach or reach, or basements, or grassland, take your pick for whatever metaphor you'd like to use to perceive that. We speak of the number of students, the number of dollars, the number of buildings, the number of square feet, the number of classes. Take your pick about all the different structural ways we think about the world in which we live. Not unimportant, certainly, and consequential, absolutely. But it does miss the point that there are real live human beings involved in this process. Flesh and blood human beings made up of both agency and a sense of self. I'd like to spend a little bit of time thinking about those social creations, those cultural creations, those creative things that are at, in essence, the heart of what we do as universities. We've been through the ringer, as you've just heard from my two colleagues prior speaking, and I think you're quite well aware. I know Lori is well aware. And it's time that we turned a corner to something a little bit different. We need to work together. The Council of Trustees, the leadership of the university, APSCF, and the faculty, all of the unions that represent the other staff unrepresented by unions, as well as our students, their families, and our constituencies broadly put. Time for new levels of transparency, new levels of professionalism, new levels of creativity, and new levels of cooperation to do good works between these important entities, as I've just mentioned. I think we have the leadership team in place that we may need for this moment. As Mario rightly pointed out, it's been a lot over the last few years. We look for you to support the folks in some of the choices and chances they're wanting to take right now, along with us as faculty who are working directly with them. It is a refreshing change to feel the transparency again and the levels of professionalism that we're dealing with at this very moment. So we hope to amplify that relationship and continue it, and hope the council will do the same. Faculty and staff have been working on the ground, as well as students, to make this transition take place at multiple levels. No small feat to continue that endeavor, needless to say. The leadership team has been working itself raw, doing the same, trying to figure out where, what, when, how, why. The leadership team from the students and the unions have been involved with our own leadership team, doing the very, very same thing. We need your support as a council to, again, work with the leadership team to make Penn West a reality in the way that it should be. We need you to have the empathy and the understanding that Barry and Mario have asked for in terms of the workload and the idea that faculty's work life is students' learning life. Really, please try to grapple with that. And lastly, as a council of trustees, we'd ask you to take the lead in helping to figure out how we're going to service the debt that seems to have put us in this situation in the first place. Other folks are doing some pretty heavy lifting on the ground with the systems, with the structures. We'd ask that you take the lead and do some heavy lifting as we try to approach the debt problems that we face and help take the yoke of infrastructure debt off our necks and allow us to create learning environments that are beneficial to our students. Lastly, I'd like to say, please let us turn these corners, right? As faculty, as staff, as students, as administration, to make Penn West what it could and should be. It's time to move from those days where we continue to speak of this is how we did it at Clarion, or this is how we did it at Cal, or this is how we did it at Edinburgh. It's time to understand that we've got a new entity, and that new entity is Penn West, and our desire is to be an engine for economic, workforce, and cultural development across our region. We want to provide superior student learning experience across all of our educational programs, and we want to approach our work with an unwavering focus on student success that's rooted in equity, diversity, and inclusion. What we'd ask of you is that you allow us the chance to emerge, to do that with our agency and the selves that we've created at this university, and to help do that into the future. It's time not just for us to turn a corner, it's time for the Council of Trustees and every one of us to turn this corner and start heading in the right direction, and that direction is Penn West. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Williams. We'll now hear from the Faculty Senate, and my notes say that we'll hear from Dr. Naus, but a minute ago, I thought I saw Dr. Kushinikoff. Oh, are you there? You're in person, actually.
In person.
All right, good, thank you.
Hi, it's nice to be here. This is my first time with you in person. I was the Faculty Senate Chair at Clarion for the last 2 years as Clarion during COVID. So my first time with you in person. I'm so happy to be here in person. My name is Dr. Jacqueline Knaus. I'm a chemistry professor, and my co-chairs are joining us. Hey, Peter, joining us on Zoom. I really appreciate the opportunity to join you today and give you a brief update about Faculty Senate. Prior to integration, leadership of Faculty Senate at California, Clarion, and Edinburgh were charged, and I'm going to read you the quote from our charge, to develop a Faculty Senate structure in support of academic shared governance at the new integrated university that provides a forum for engagement, communication, and problem solving while fostering mutual accountability, respect, and trust. The chair, vice chair, and secretary from each of the 2021-2022 Senate bodies have been collaborating to achieve these goals for the last 2 years. At the end of the 2021-2022 academic year, we were elected by the members of each of our respective Senate bodies to serve as the executive committee for the interim Senate this academic year. And our terms are expiring. We have 1 meeting left. My colleagues have stolen my thunder a little bit. I think Barry didn't sneak a peek at my script here, but at a time where change seems to be the only constant, our main focus in Senate has been to monitor topics of interest to faculty and to provide senators the opportunity to bring questions and concerns to university leadership. Our intent is to ensure that the faculty perspective is considered prior to decision-making on important governance issues. The other main focus this year has been the work to finalize our Constitution and bylaws. I'm pleased to report that the Constitution and bylaws have been approved by both the Faculty Senate and the faculty. The next step in the full ratification process is approval by the president. And then finally, they'll be coming to you as the Council of Trustees for approval. Currently, we have elections underway for the next executive committee. So our leadership committee for the Faculty Senate. And the polls for those close today. So if you're watching faculty and you haven't voted, get out the vote. The election of the rest of the Senate body is going to take place next week. So the rest of the Senate body is departmental representation, where based on the size of the departments will have 1 to 3 senators representing their department. And that is my report for you. And I'm happy to answer any questions if you have any.
Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Our 3 student trustees are with us today, and we have a report, I think, from each of them. Katie, Sonia, and I think Sarah's online. Sarah's virtual. So who would like to go first?
Start us off.
Sonia?
Okay. Since the last meeting, there's a lot that's happened on the Edinburgh campus. As the Faculty Senate and the ABSCUF members have noted, the change in the president has made students just a lot more unsure about the integration, and they just feel more unstable. These are not my words, these are the words of other students, but they feel that Dr. Bernardsky is maybe Dr. Death, and that she'll bring around program cuts and retrenchments. There's also been a lot of issues with advising and scheduling lately. That opened up this week. Scheduling did. Group advising is not working for a lot of students, but it is what a lot of advisors are doing, because they have 100+ advisees that they have to see within a week. Some students have told me that they're getting moved to another advisor without being told that they're getting moved to that advisor because their first advisor had too many advisees. And then there's also been a lot of scheduling issues. The name and number changes of the courses mean that in this system that we use in Banner, students don't have the prerequisites for the courses, even though they do. So they're not able to register for the classes that they have. And so they have to apply to get into the class, even though they should be able to get into it. And then the website needs updated with the course sequences, curriculums, and then the dean's list so that students know who to contact as well as what courses they're taking. There's also been issues about laundry for next year. Currently at Edinburgh, laundry is free, and it hasn't been announced to the student body. But we have been informed that laundry next year will not be free, and that's been very upsetting for a lot of students, and they don't really understand why, and I'm with them on that. And then, like always, there are frustrations with parking and food, specifically with food. The allergy options are not great for students. The gluten-free, the peanut-free, the whole allergy station that we have is very repetitive in its menu. And sometimes the school serves options such as peanut butter cookies that are not labeled as peanut butter, so they maybe look like sugar cookies, and students are eating them, which is not great. And then the last frustration that students are having is about our library. Students aren't really getting updates on the library and when it might be open, and they would like to know that. But then in positives, our student government is planning Student Appreciation Week next week. We kick off with our concert with Sean Kingston 303, as well as other fun programs throughout the week to interest students. The school created a new temporary path, maybe it's temporary, around the library that students enjoy and use daily. Because of the library construction, a popularly used walking path was not accessible to students. And then another positive has been that there's been a lot of collaboration between the Penn West schools. So for example, the Edinburgh SGA went down last week and visited the Clarion SGA, and then the concert that we have coming up, other Penn West students are able to buy tickets for Edinburgh's concert at the student price because they're Penn West students, whereas if you're like a student at Mercyhurst, you could not buy the student ticket price, you'd have to buy the general admission price. So the overall seems to be positive for students. That's it.
Thank you. Any questions for Sonia?
No.
Sarah, can you hear us okay?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, if you'd like to give your report.
Okay. So hello, everyone. Penn West California students, faculty, and staff have continued to be very active both on and off campus. So most recently in March, our women's basketball team won the PSAC championship 75-63 and also played in the NCAA tournament, which is definitely really great. We're super proud of our women's team. And then last month, our men's club hockey team won the College Hockey East Finals, defeating St. Vincent. This marked the team's 14th championship in total. And then Penn West California, similar to what Sonia was mentioning, we just hosted our family weekend in the beginning of April. Many families enjoyed creating sand art, building Stuff-A-Buddies, playing bingo, and also competing in an indoor mini golf course that they had set up, along with other activities. So it was definitely great to see the families back on campus because I know that's what we wanted to see, especially after COVID. We wanted to see more engagement, more involvement, whether it was alumni or students that are going to be here in the upcoming semesters. And then there was also a place to donate for our Penn West Pantry. So that helps students who are in need on campus get the necessary items that they need throughout any day and any day of the week. And then student government, we just hosted our Student Appreciation Week last week and offered various food trucks. We had bingo. We also had several giveaways, and we did different contests also to promote school spirit for all of Penn West and also to engage more people and students as well. And then our student government, we're preparing for our annual community service project, the big event, which will take place next Saturday, April 22nd, which is also Earth Day. So the big event is a day of community service where we focus on the Cal community, whether it's private residences and businesses. Right now we have over 30 clubs and organizations signed up to volunteer, and we'll be doing various cleanups. So cleaning outside the homes, whether it's washing windows, cleaning up yards, planting flower beds, those kind of things. And a lot more projects are also planned for that. So we're super excited. And then tomorrow we have our Alpha Lambda Delta, or ALD, which is an academic honor society for freshmen who earned at least a 3.5 GPA their first semester. We have our induction ceremony for them tomorrow, so we're looking forward to that. There will be over, I think there's 30 students right now for freshmen that are coming, and then we also invited the seniors to receive their awards as well. And it's just a great way for them to promote scholarship opportunities, community service engagement, and just to give back to the campus and the community, and to also enhance students' professional development. And then our Penn West California Theater Department and university players will present the Trojan Women April 20th through the 22nd in Steele Hall, and everyone's practicing and rehearsing for that, so everyone's really excited. And then this week is class registration for all students, undergraduate and graduate, to register for the fall 23 semester. Summer registration also continues, and I know many students raised concerns about the in-person classes, which was also addressed by having many more classes added prior to the start of registration this week. So staff and faculty have been open and supportive in their communication with students to address their concerns, because I know a lot of us, we had questions about this class says this particular thing. Is it similar to a course I already did, or is it something new? And just being able to communicate with more people and help clear up the misunderstandings that anyone had. And then graduation at Penn West California will be held on Saturday, May 6th, and we're all looking forward to that and just preparing. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. I think Katie is student teaching, so we will move on to the next agenda item, which is a report from our Council of Trustee PAC representative. And PAC stands for Pennsylvania Association of Council of Trustees. It's a Council of Trustees organization in the state system. And our reps are Barry Nicolai, Mark Bellini, and Donna Oberlander. Who would like to start? Mark?
Thank you. Yes, yesterday we had our quarterly PAC call with the PACI leadership, and the next thing that's on our agenda is our spring conference will be May 3rd. It's a 2-hour. It'll be done by Zoom, and the digital invites will go out to all of the trustees.
Barry?
I think Mark covered pretty much all this important points. Again, all trustees are invited to the annual meeting, and we encourage you to attend that because a lot of system information and a lot of information is shared with us at that time. Thank you.
Thank you. Donna?
I would just add that we spent a lot of time talking about advocacy and making sure that we are all advocating to the best of our the extent
that we're all pulling on the same end of the rope and that it's really critical that we put that story forward.
Thanks, Donna. The next item on our agenda is the consent agenda, which consists of meeting minutes from January 19, 2023, and our capital spending plan. These items will be considered in one motion unless a member wishes to have an item removed for individual discussion. Would anybody like to have individual discussion on either of those two items?
I have a question. The capital spending plan, is that still on the agenda?
That's still on the consent agenda. Would you like to have it separated out?
I would.
Okay, you will
Thank you.
do that. That in mind, let's vote on the meeting minutes from January. You should have a copy of those minutes in your packet. Do I hear a motion that we approve those minutes as presented? Second,
Second.
any discussion on the motion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. The motion carries. Now let's look separately at the capital spending plan then. That is we're going to separate that out. And if we could have Susan Fensky, did she present that earlier? Fawn, I'm sorry. Fawn, would you like to speak to that item that's on the agenda?
Chair Pape, I thought this was being tabled.
Do we have a motion to table it?
No, I thought we had discussed it earlier and there was more information being sought. I don't know if that information was received.
And I think we would need a motion to do that, right? Am I understand that correctly?
How would you like?
I'm not necessarily making the motion. I'm just questioning. I thought that's.
Was there anybody?
Session that would have to happen by motion. I understand. Okay. I understand. Gotcha. All right. But.
Is there anybody who prefers to make a motion to table this item on the agenda, the capital spending plan? There's no motion to table it, so let's move forward.
Okay, so the capital spending plan is a rolling 5-year plan of the capital projects on each campus that have literally been on the agenda in the past for the various campuses. Each year, we're asked to reapprove those just to make sure that those are projects still in our scope. And we need to do that by May the 1st. We're certifying, we're approving that for the Board of Governors, for PASHE to take to the Board of Governors.
And everybody should have in their packet a list of those projects that comprise the capital spending plan. And Fawn, you're looking for an approval of that plan?
Yes.
Motion.
A motion to approve.
I'll make the motion.
All right, do I hear a second? Any discussion on the motion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed?
Sorry, because we have, sorry, I didn't get this before. Because we have some people on the Zoom call, votes have to be taken by roll call rather than just by it. I could go to roll call now.
Yes, let's do a roll call if we're supposed to be doing a roll call. Is that because there's somebody?
There are people on Zoom.
So.
The way that you have someone on the telephone, person in a meeting, so you have to do roll call vote.
So every motion?
Yes.
All right, let's go through it.
Trustee Bellini,
Nay, oppose.
trustee Dunbar,
Yes.
trustee Jones,
Yes.
trustee Kennedy. Yes. Trustee Logue,
Yes.
trustee Maggi,
Yes.
trustee Nikolai,
Yes.
trustee Overlander,
Yes.
trustee Pape,
Yes.
trustee Pickett,
Yes.
trustee Robinson, Trustee Cedar,
Yes.
trustee Weaver,
Yes.
trustee Yost.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Carrie, thank you. The next item on the agenda is the report of the Academic Affairs Committee. And we do have at least one action item from this committee.
Good afternoon. So the Academic Affairs Division has two items for consideration by the Council of Trustees. We have completed our program array for the most part, graduate and undergraduate programs. And we now have 6 new online graduate certificates that need to be approved. Those were developed in order to meet the needs of the workforce. So I will need approval of the 6 certificates, accounting essentials, assurance, taxation, counseling, superintendent letter of eligibility, and reading specialist preparation.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion on the motion? All in favor, nope. Voice vote, Anna?
Trustee Bellini.
Yes.
Trustee Dunbar.
Yes.
Trustee Jones.
Yes.
Trustee Kennedy.
Yes.
Trustee Lowe.
Yes.
Trustee Maggi.
Yes.
Trustee Nikolai. Trustee Overlander.
Yes.
Trustee Pape.
Yes.
Trustee Pickett.
Yes.
Trustee Robinson. Trustee Cedar.
Yes.
Trustee Weaver.
Yes.
Trustee Yost.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is the finance and administration.
So we have one more action item under academic affairs.
Sorry, Brenda.
Oh, that's fine. Yes, thank you.
And that would be,
So that would be approval of the proposed academic colleges reorganization. We are proposing that the Council of Trustees approve the reorganization of the 6 existing academic colleges into 3 newly created colleges: the College of Science, Technology, and Business, College of Education, Arts and Humanities, and the College of Health Sciences and Human Services. And I will just like to point out that I really don't need to say much about the process because the faculty leadership, as they have mentioned, this was a highly shared and quick process, but we really engaged in shared governance. I had a lot of feedback and really took that into consideration and worked with our faculty leadership colleagues and faculty as a whole to come up with the 3 proposed colleges.
thank you. Do I hear a motion? Any discussion on the motion? Voice vote?
Trustee Bellini.
Yes.
Trustee Dunbar.
Yes.
Trustee Jones.
Yes.
Trustee Kennedy.
Yes.
Trustee Lowe.
Yes.
Trustee Maggi.
Yes.
Trustee Nikolai.
Yes.
Trustee Overlander.
Yes.
Trustee Pape.
Yes.
Trustee Pickett.
Yes.
Trustee Robinson.
Yes.
Trustee Cedar.
Yes.
Trustee Weaver.
Yes.
Trustee Yost.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Now, the next item on the agenda is the Finance and Administration Committee, and we do have a couple action items after the report of this committee. Juan?
Thank you. So we do have a couple action items. Just a little update on our committee. We've met about 3 times now, so we are organizing our mission and our goals and are working on our strategies to meet our goals. So there'll be more information on that in the future. Our first action item for this evening is our external financial support. And annually, the university's chief financial officer, along with the chief counsel and vice chancellor of administration, we look at the prior fiscal year's direct university support provided by the affiliated entities and the contributions that also the university, whether it's non-financial or financial, give each other because they're in existence on our behalf. The same report is needed to be given to the Council of Trustees as well. So in your package, you'll see a list of all the current MOUs for all of our affiliates. We also have the fiduciary agreements, their current financial statements, new and revised articles of incorporation, and their board of directors and executive employees of the affiliated entities. So we would ask tonight for approval of the resolution certifying compliance with the Board of Governors Policy 1985-04A, University External Financial Support.
Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second? Any discussion on the motion? Anna?
Trustee Bellini.
Yes.
Trustee Dunbar.
Yes.
Trustee Jones.
Yes.
Trustee Kennedy.
Yes.
Trustee Logue.
Yes.
Trustee Maggi.
Yes.
Trustee Nikolai.
Yes.
Trustee Overlander.
Yes.
Trustee Pape.
Yes.
Trustee Pickett.
Yes.
Trustee Robinson.
Yes.
Trustee Teeter.
Yes.
Trustee Weaver.
Yes.
Trustee Yost.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Fawn, are you going to discuss the meal plan rates now?
Yes, yeah. So next on our next action item is our meal plan rates for the academic year 23-24. A little background on, we have two different contractors on each campus. However, they all calculate the CPI increase each year the same. Last year, there was a 7% increase that the university did not increase rates. But this year, there is an 8.3% CPI increase, and we would propose having a mill rate increase of 8.3% on the various mill plans. So we are asking tonight for approval of those mill plan rates effective for the fall 23 semester.
Just so we're clear, can you point us to the right column?
So on your screen, it would actually be, you'll see in the fourth column, the rate increase of 8.3. And then you'll see the student increase is the very last column. The proposed total student cost is the third from the left, from the right.
Do I hear a motion that we approve the rates as indicated on that very right column of the schedule?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
any discussion on the motion? Anna?
Trustee Bellini.
Yes.
Trustee Dunbar.
Yes.
Trustee Jones.
Yes.
Trustee Kennedy.
Yes.
Trustee Logue.
Yes.
Trustee Maggi.
Yes.
Trustee Nikolai.
Yes.
Trustee Overlander.
Yes.
Trustee Pape.
Yes.
Trustee Pickett.
Yes.
Trustee Robinson.
Yes.
Trustee Cedar.
Yes.
Trustee Weaver.
Yes.
And Trustee Yost.
Yes.
Motion
Thank you.
carries.
The next item are the room rates.
Correct, yes, it is. So for our room rates, there's only a few that we are proposing an increase to for this next academic year. The first one being on each of the campuses, there's options for single rooms. We're trying to align those costs to be the same. So there's an increase we're requesting at the California campus so that the rates would be the same with our two sister campuses. The other rates that we're asking for an increase for are on the Clarion campus at our Reinhardt Villages. There has not been a rate increase at that facility since 2017, but we have seen a lot of increases in our supplies and in our maintenance contracts at that facility. So we would like to ask approval for these rate increases for fall of 23.
Motion to approve.
Second,
Second.
any discussion on the motion of the room rates? Anna?
Trustee Bellini.
Yes.
Trustee Dunbar.
Yes.
Trustee Jones.
Yes.
Trustee Kennedy.
Yes.
Trustee Logue.
Yes.
Trustee Maggi,
Yes.
trustee Nikolai,
Yes.
trustee Oberlander,
Yes.
trustee Pape,
Yes.
trustee Pickett,
Yes.
trustee Robinson,
No.
trustee Cedar,
Yes.
trustee Weaver,
Yes.
trustee Yost.
No.
We have a majority.
Thank you. Next item is tuition and fees.
So for this action item, now that we have a approved academic program array that aligns the programs across the 3 campuses, the experience for the students are, they're all having the same academic program. So we needed to take a look at our tuition rates and fees so that those, our E&G tuition rate and fees, to align those across the 3 campuses, because there are various differences where for the same program, students were paying different rates. As the committee reviewed this tuition and fees, it was a committee that was student affairs, academic affairs, finance. We looked at the legacy rates, taking into consideration what the students were paying, as well as the revenue, so that we wanted to lessen the impact as much as we could. So there are various things, and I think we I'm just going to kind of read them all to you. The first one is the military rate. 2 of the campuses had it, and then we want to adopt it across all 3. The tuition rate would be $250 per credit for the undergraduate students and $399 for graduate students. Our RN to BSN tuition rate, we need to align across the 3 campuses at the $322 per credit and the $328 per credit for non-residents. Our master's in speech language pathology, there was different rates, 3 different rates at each camp, at the 3 different campuses. So we're asking for approval to be the $516 per credit for the PA resident and $774 for non-residents. Our international rate on each campus was also different. 2 had 150, 1 had 170. We're asking to align that at 150 for all 3 campuses. The non-resident fully online programs, we had different rates for different programs, anywhere from 102 to 125. We're asking to set that at 102 for all of our fully online programs. For the instructional support fee, the rate per credit does not change. We're just asking to adopt the per credit rate for that fee. 1 campus had a per credit, 2 had it capped, but it's an instructional support fee that really supports the academic needs of our students and the support services that surrounds those needs. We're also asking to set a consistent university service fee of $275 per semester. Again, this rate varied across the 3 campuses, and we're asking it was anywhere from $135 to $408. So we're trying to align that at $275. And for our lab and private instruction fees, there was a difference in rates across the 3 campuses, again, with $75 being the lowest that was charged, and we're asking to adopt that fee for the lab and private instruction fees. With all that said, we're asking for approval of the tuition and fee adjustment that we just spoke about for the fall 23 semester.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion on the motion? Anna?
Trustee Bellini.
Yes.
Trustee Dunbar.
Yes.
Trustee Jones.
Yes.
Trustee Kennedy.
Yes.
Trustee Loeb.
Yes.
Trustee Maggi.
Yes.
Trustee Nikolai.
Yes.
Trustee Oberlander.
Yes.
Trustee Pape.
Yes.
Trustee Pickett.
Yes.
Trustee Robinson.
Yes.
Trustee Cedar.
Yes.
Trustee Weaver.
Yes.
Trustee Yost.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. At this, Fawn, do you have more?
I think the only other thing we had was updates. Okay. And so for our quarterly updates, our contracts and purchases, there's a list in your packet for the period of November 21st to February 20th. You'll see the amounts that were spent there, and those are in your packets if there's any questions on any of those. Just some quick updates on our various divisions under finance administration. There are fiscal affairs division, which consists of accounting, financial planning and analysis, and student accounts. The The big thing there was our accounting balances and our legacy SAP business areas have been rolled over, and so they are now exist in one business area in our accounting system as Penn West as of March 31st, 2023. So the team is very busy there, just making sure those balances came over properly. Our grant system, the payment gateway of sam.gov is finally all approved and everything in February. So that has really made getting our payments for our grants and our veteran payments much easier. Financial planning and analysis completed the PASHE CPP media report on February 22nd, 2023. And they've also developed some how-to videos to access student and operating budgets for our financial managers. Student accounts team has been doing a lot of refinement in their offices, trying to figure out how we run the three offices. There's still face-to-face presence needed, but also some of the back office functions and consolidating those to find some efficiencies. Human resources, they facilitated some labor relations training for over 60 Penn West managers. And the team also developed and implemented a student worker and graduate assistant hiring process for Penn West. Facilities, construction, and planning, DGS requested our team's input to draft legislation in efforts to the sell of Highland 7 and 8. With the new governor coming in, we had to draft some new legislation for that. So that's ongoing. It's in the hands of DGS. Penn West, California, the new science buildings design phase kicked off on March 16th. Design team has 415 calendar days from March 20th to deliver final construction drawings. The Zorski demolition is near completion on that campus. On Penn West Clarion, our steam vault replacement and steam tunnel shoring is complete. And they've replaced the given steam vault and mechanicals. And you've also noticed the carrier hall demolition is complete. Penn West Edinburgh. HF Lens is working on the dome design to correct the issues that we had talked about previously. So that is underway. We're working with DGS on the demolition project for the Edinburgh campus, with the bid opening is scheduled for March the 24th. So we're looking for a start date towards the end of May on that project. They also implemented the new work order system for Penn West. It's called Asset Essentials. We're implementing it on the Edinburgh campus, and then we'll farm that out to the other two campuses as well. Safety and risk management, they completed regulatory required evacuation drills for Penn West resident halls and facilitated the completion of the annual inspections reports for the biological safety cabinets and the stage rigging at each campus. Information technology services, our team presented the first annual cybersecurity risk report to Penn West Cabinet. The report is a requirement of our cybersecurity audit and identifies Penn West cybersecurity risks and steps that have been taken to remedy any issues that we have. The Elution workflow system was launched, providing a system that empowers automation to digitalize processes across the Penn West campuses. So that'll do a lot with streamlining some of our student and faculty services. They're also busy working on a data store. It's going to provide analytical capabilities. It's going to enable the Department of Institutional Research and Assessment to deliver trend reports for admissions, analytics, and IPEDS. We were also named, Penn West ITS was named a recipient of the 2023 Lucian Impact Award. And the team was able to go to the conference down in New Orleans. And so with that, they received a trophy and a $25,000 check. So they were recognized for all the work that they did implementing our new banner system. So very proud of the team. And this is our CETO accepting the award at the conference. So just wanted to share that good bit of information for you. He was also up for the award of the Chief Information Technology Officer of the Year for in Pittsburgh, but unfortunately he was not selected last evening. But we're still proud of our team. So thank you very much. That completes my report.
Thank you, Fawn. The next item on our agenda is the report of advancement and the advancement team. And today we have a special request to approve the naming of a building for a very special man. So it's not our average advancement report. Jim will kick it off, and Larry, you're ready.
Thank you very much. For a minute, I'm going to talk about a building, and I'm going to talk about a man. The building is Egbert Hall. Initially a dormitory for young men, was named at its completion in 1939 for Professor Walter R. Egbert. The cost at the time was $110,000 to build that building. So for what that's worth. Professor Egbert was a teacher and dean of men at the college from 1887 to 1920. At the time, the building was described as a modern building of up-to-date colonial architecture containing a special lounge, reception rooms, apartment for the dean of men, and hot and cold water in every single room. So that was quite something. Now I'm going to talk about a man. I'm going to transition for a real quick second first. So Egbert Hall is in the middle of an $8.4 million renovation. It will become the admissions welcome center for this campus. It had been student financial aid over time, student affairs. It's been vacant for many years now. So we're excited to see it coming. It will be the welcome center for admissions, really the place where prospective students and their families will be introduced to Penn West, Clarion, and all for which we stand. Just as important as the excellent academic experience we offer, it's also our inclusiveness. Long before institutions of higher education had offices to promote diversity, equity, and inclusion, Clarion had John Shropshire. In 1957, John came to Clarion as a student. Clarion was one of the few places at the time that accepted Black students. He graduated in 1961, then returned in 1972 when he was recruited as the Assistant Director of Enrollment Management. He was later promoted to the Dean of Enrollment Management. Those who were privileged to have known John remember the sense of unity that he instilled on our campus and in our community. John, as many of you know, was the first of many. He was the first Black head coach of high school athletics in Central Pennsylvania, the first Black person elected to public office in Clarion County, and the first Black dean at Clarion. And I know there's many, many more firsts for him. John advocated for equality, but not just racial equality. He wanted all people to be equal, and he knew that education was essential in that quest. Students were at the forefront of every decision he made as dean. He believed that if we keep the students in the center, we end up in the right place. For these reasons, we are seeking Council of Trustee approval to rename Walter R. Egbert Hall as John S. Shropshire Hall.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion on the motion? Anna?
Trustee Bellini.
Yes.
Trustee Dunbar.
Hasten to yes.
Trustee Jones.
Yes.
Trustee Kennedy.
Yes.
Trustee Logue.
Yes.
Trustee Maggi.
Yes.
Trustee Nikolai.
Yes.
Trustee Oberlander.
Enthusiastically, yes.
Trustee Pape.
Yes.
Trustee Pickett.
Yes.
Trustee Robinson.
Yes.
Trustee Cedar.
Yes.
Trustee Weaver.
Yes.
Trustee Yost.
Yes.
Thank you.
Motion carries.
Thank you. I have a resolution. We're going to ask Trustee Larry Pickett to read that resolution.
I am honored to read it. I'm extremely proud to present this resolution to the Shropshire family and to this council. I'm deeply honored. I do want to say that Dr. Shropshire recruited me to come to Clarion University, and we are both graduates of Westinghouse High School in Pittsburgh, as we affectionately say, Bulldogs. And I'm so proud to see and read this, and I'm proud for the family, and I'm proud for this university. So I wanted to share that before I read the resolution itself. Resolution to rename Egbert Hall, John S. Shropshire Hall. Whereas John S. Shropshire broke ground in 1972 when he became the Dean of Enrollment Management, the first Black individual to attain dean status at Clarion University. And whereas John S. Shropshire came to Clarion University in 1957 as a student, he earned 3 letters as a member of the Golden Eagle football team and graduated in 1961 with degrees in English and secondary education, social studies. And whereas John S. Shropshire was elected president of the Pennsylvania Black Conference on Higher Education and was named chairman of the Enrollment Management Committee of the American Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admission Officers. And whereas John S. Shropshire pushed for education in rural areas as part of the Rural Advocacy Task Force. He served as Paint Township Supervisor and as a Clarion County Commissioner. He was the first Black person to be elected to public office in Clarion County. And whereas John S. Shropshire truly believed in education, not just as it related to students of color, but for all students. And be it resolved that the Council of Trustees of Pennsylvania Western University, in recognition of the prominent and devoted commitment of John S. Shropshire to the Clarion University and his significant impact on the Clarion community, as well as his immeasurable impact on the recruitment, retention, and graduation of students, does hereby endorse the renaming of Egbert Hall to John S. Shropshire Hall. Pursuant to the Pennsylvania Western University policy for naming facilities and programs, and be it further resolved that this resolution shall be made a matter of official record in the minutes of the Council of Trustees, approved this 13th day of April, 2023.
Thank you. I'd like to recognize family members Jamie Shropshire and daughter Alicia Shropshire, who are with us here. And I certainly want to thank Dr. Day and Isaac Leonard, who brought this idea forward to me. It seems like a long time ago, but it's been a great exercise. And folks that didn't know John really got to learn what a great man he was. And in my 10 years here, the number of stories that I've heard that started off, I would not have been to college, or I would not have gone to Clarion if not for him. So thank you. I probably have more report, but it seems anticlimactic now. Yes. Yes, we're going to take a picture or two. So we can have a short break. Thank you.
Take a break for a few minutes?
Yes. Y'all should have known when you let me take trustees on a tour, we were going to get off time a little bit. So I apologize for that.
No, that's fine. That's such a nice event. Do you have anything else to say?
If I have a short report, I will do it very quickly.
Okay.
Do you have it? Yes. Just quick through the fundraising totals through February. Combined, we were at 4.3 million. That's off about $1.3 million from the previous year. Most of that is due to the timing of a Kellogg grant that goes to the Cal campus. Usually comes in early in the fiscal year. We expect that in May of this year. So we believe that we're still on track to hit our goal of this year. I believe about $10.5 million for a goal. April 24th is our first combined integrated day of giving. So you all will be getting information, and I invite you to join me in making a gift. We're going to share a short video. This kind of shows the work that our team's been able to do between the fundraising team and the design and marketing team. So
his name is Blaze. He is the Vulcan. This California superhero is facing his biggest challenge yet, the inaugural California Giving Day. He's trained more than 60,000 Vulcans to fuel fires within themselves. He's been described as the ambassador of fun, muscles of steel, and a guy with a larger-than-life smile. He's the Vulcan who perseveres and always gives back. Can Blaze rise to the challenge with the weight of campus on his shoulders? One Vulcan, 24 hours, 428 gifts. April 28th is your chance to become a superhero too. Ignite your spark and help Blaze help our students. His name is Ernie the Eagle. He's the superhero of Clarion's biggest day of the year, Giving Day. Ernie's trained more than 68,000 golden eagles to soar to success. He's been described as fierce, handsome, courageous, and brilliant. He's the eagle who perseveres and always gives back. Can Ernie rise to the challenge of creating even more success? One golden eagle, 24 hours, 428 gifts. April 28th is your chance to become a superhero too. Launch to new heights and help Ernie help our students. His name is Mikado, the leader of the Edinburgh Fighting Scots. He's the superhero of Edinburgh's biggest day this year, Giving Day. Mikado's trained more than 65,000 fighting Scots to cheer our teams to victory. He's been described as fierce, handsome, courageous, and knows how to wear a kilt. He's the warrior who perseveres and always gives back. Can Mikado rise to the challenge and lead campus to victory? One fighting Scot, 24 hours, 428 gifts. April 28th is your chance to become a superhero too. It's time to let your tartan pride shine and help Mikado help our students.
That's it. So obviously, based on where you went to school is the content you will be served. So I do hope that you will all participate and join me on our day of giving.
And how will that be known around?
So we will send that an email. We will send that on social media. There'll be a direct mail piece as well.
April 28th, market.
Yes.
Some of us already got the mail piece.
So so the goal is gifts, 428 gifts to match April 28th. Correct. We're still working with our alumni on the whole integration idea. So we're really trying to encourage participation and really trying to drive hard on the legacy and the importance of, what campus meant to you all when you went to school. Homecoming, Edinburgh's will be September 30th, Clarion, October 7th, California, October 14th. We're doing those geographically based on weather patterns. So the Athletic Hall of Fame, the Athletic Hall of Fame Awards, Edinburgh had theirs in the fall. Cal's is April 22nd and Clarion's is April 28th. And then we talked about all of those things. The website, the full website plan launch for this fall. So we're working hard on that. Thank you, Dr. Bernardsky, for finding us additional resources to push on that more quickly. It was important to help us get that work done. So thank you. And I hope that's my last slide. Good. Thank you.
Thank you. Now have a president's report. We have a president to give a report.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Chair. Although I joined Penn West in October, this is actually my first Council of Trustees meeting in the new role that I'm serving in. And so I just wanted to share just a couple of thoughts as we're sort of winding down the end of one semester and have a lot of work to do, as you heard, over the summer, gearing up for the next one. I'm honored to lead on an interim basis this extraordinary community of educators. And I say community of educators on purpose because it's not just faculty. We are all a community of educators serving our students. I share in your passion for the success of Penn West and the communities that we serve. In the couple just months that I've been here, I've witnessed grit, resilience, and a work ethic that is just remarkable. So many things have been accomplished in the last 2 years, and actually so much has been accomplished even in the last 6 months. It's truly humbling to serve. I did accept this interim role because of my own deep and profound belief that regional public comprehensive universities like Penn West must be affordable and we must be student ready. I'm a first-gen student myself from rural Eastern Pennsylvania. So the mission of this place speaks to me very deeply. And as you heard from our faculty leaders at the beginning of the meeting, it will take all of our combined efforts to make Penn West all it can be. But you also heard, I think, a lot of dedication and passion around doing just that. So in order for us to be all that we have to be, we know we have to have a dedicated community of experts and highly motivated faculty and staff all working together. The good news is we have that. We also have to have a culture where collaboration and problem solving are the norm and where decisions are made openly and transparently with input from the entire university community. And I would add even our community partners in the actual communities outside the university. Good news is we are also accomplishing that. We have to be the kind of university where students want to belong, where they feel a sense of security, ownership, and pride. We're working hard at that. And as you heard in our student reports, maybe a bit unevenly, but we are still working on it, and we will continue to do better. That's the kind of university that I've worked hard to create my entire career. And that's the kind of university I believe we can build together here at Penn West. So please join me in looking ahead to the future and the opportunities that await our community. We do have a lot of work ahead of us, but we also have just tremendous resources in our faculty, our staff, our community partners, obviously our students, our best resource, our trustees, and everybody who advocates for Penn West. So I just wanted to say thank you for the opportunity. I am humbled to be in this position, and I will do everything I can do to make Penn West as strong as it can possibly be. That concludes my report.
Thank you. We're getting close to the end of the agenda, but we do have Kelly's report on university affairs.
Yes, thank you.
First.
All right, so a lot of you were a part of this, but we worked over the last year to take the existing commissions that were at each campus to form the new Penn West presidential commissions. And the group was charged with reviewing the existing commission structure at each campus and realigning those with the mission, vision, and strategic priorities of Penn West. So we had a good foundation in place, but we wanted to make sure that we were promoting a culture of trust, open dialogue, and inclusiveness. So we are currently recruiting membership. We're going to be launching all the commissions officially in the fall. We'll have representation from each campus, and it'll be faculty, staff, students, and trustees. Some of you may have already seen the emails that we're recruiting for some of those commissions. And there'll be 5 commissions. And if you want to do the next slide, one more, please. We'll have the status of women, the military and veteran affairs, disabilities and access, LGBT TQ, I think there's a letter missing that, IA+, and people and culture. So the status of women is really going to promote and give voice to all the women on campus and to make sure that they are able to get professional development and have more involvement within the communities. The military and veteran affairs, I just want to thank Mark. He was very involved with this committee as well. And they'll be working on issues that surround military affiliated individuals in all aspects of university life. That'll be current students in ROTC, that'll be veterans and those who have family members too. They're in the university community rather. Next slide. Disabilities and access. We got a lot of feedback in the climate survey that we needed some work that had to be done on our campuses for that. So that is what this committee will be working on, identifying areas of concern, possible solutions, and how to advocate for that community. Next slide. The LGBTQIA+, they'll be working to just have an open, caring, nurturing, fair, engaging, and inclusive community. People and culture, we've talked about that quite a bit at the different trustee meetings over the last year. We're going to continue the work of the task force, but it's going to become a presidential commission. And so that commission will continue to assess the activities, the events, and all the programming that's tied to the culture. And we have 5 strategic goals that are going to be part of the strategic plan for Penn West, and that'll be the work that they're doing. We'll be working on developing and implementing a talent development program. We want to make sure that we're investing in our people and we're meeting not only their career pathways, but also the needs of Penn West. We'll be improving our recognition system. We're going to see how we can tie that in with Microsoft Teams and find a way that on a daily basis, we're recognizing individual team members, but also telling other people across the campuses what team members are doing, have awards, things that do it more campus-wide every year as well. We're doing more about a comprehensive wellness program. We know mental health is a big issue with Zoom and hybrid. There's a lot of work-life balance that sometimes we forget about. And so we're looking at that as well. Again, the internal employee communications, we've gotten feedback and we're working with Jim's team, who's been doing a lot of great work on how we can improve how we communicate with the employees. And then also our onboarding. So we're not just new employees that are coming on, we're all new employees of Penn West. So looking at how we can onboard all of our community members, but also onboard new members as they join the community. Also, for diversity, equity, and inclusion, we have done a series of workshops and listening sessions with faculty and staff and students over the past few months. We had Dr. Zed Davenport. He came from Westchester and also did listening sessions. We heard everyone very loud and clear that we had work to do. And so we've identified a high-level action plan that's going to help create some synergy across our different campuses and really eliminate the access barriers that we've heard from people during those sessions. Part of that is we're going to be rebranding diversity, equity, and inclusion to diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. So belonging really ties in with the culture piece that we're doing. We want people to be appreciated, to feel safe on campus, and really know they're part of something bigger. And we really feel that this fits really well with the people and culture initiatives that we've been working on. We're also going to work on a needs assessment. We're going to identify the gaps that we have in training, and we're going to work on strategies that we can increase our programming, our partnerships, funding, so we can expand the programming that we do have. We're also looking at different ways we can reach our students through social media, digital, so that they're aware of the program and support systems that we already have in place. We're going to be looking into a plan to have dedicated multicultural and access student support hubs on each campus. We're working with the cabinet to find out where this would be the best spot on each campus. That's a planning process right now. By the summer, we should have more information to share with you. But again, it's about building that community, fostering fellowship, and having those events and programmings that are consistent across the 3 campuses. But we can't really do that until we have our new Chief Inclusive and Diversity Officer. As you know, Terrence Mitchell is retiring on July 1. He's been working on a special project for us. So we are going to be launching a national search for this very important role. This individual will be providing the vision, the leadership, and the direction to guide and coordinate the DEI strategy. We want this person to be someone who can work collaboratively with our faculty, staff, and administration, have a seat at the table with leadership, and really help to build and expand our partnerships externally with funding and with our community stakeholders. Tentatively, we'd like this person to be able to start in the summer, onboarded for the fall, so fingers crossed. We'll be getting that process soon. I did check with Eric in HR. If there is a trustee member that wanted to be part of the search committee, we can do that. So if someone would like to have a seat at the table, we can have someone from the trustees there to help with their expertise in that process. Any questions?
Faculty and staff alike to get to calmer seas.
And I'll
in the
say
next ensuing years.
Yeah, and Lee and the individuals on the screen, they've all been part of the People and Culture Task Force. We had unbelievable turnout and support for that. And it's really been the voice of everyone providing input that's helped to really guide this work. So thank you.
Commendations to all.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks, Kelly. We're close to adjournment, but one of our goals as a university is to have our students graduate, and that's what it's all about, right? But we're going to lose one of our own because of that. Katie Robinson is going to graduate. I'm sure she and probably her family too are very excited about graduation in May. So we want to appropriately say goodbye to you.
Oh, I'm such a flower girl too. This is so exciting.
Aw. Thank you for all of your effort and your time and your dedication to Penway. Thank you. So sweet.
I was not prepared for words, but I'm not very good at them either, which is surprising because I'm going to be a teacher. But I just want to thank you all for the opportunity I've had here at Clarion, and especially as the student trustee. And I appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to what I have to say, so and showing me how much you care about student concerns and opinions. So thank you. That's all.
Do I hear a motion that we adjourn?
So moved.